Welcome to Chapters by Propel, where we take a peek into the real lives of trailblazing community women with a mix of honesty, humor, and inspiration. I'm your host, Melanie Kuehl, and this is just part of the story. I am so happy to welcome someone who we all know as an incredibly talented hairstylist, who is a businesswoman, who is a mother of four. You are always the most fun to talk to and to be with. Pearl, I want to welcome you to Chapters by Propel. I'm so happy you're here.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
It was even fun just sitting here with you and talking about life.
The juicy stuff.
Exactly. So just in case there is anyone listening or watching who doesn't know who you are, can you just tell us who are you and what do you do?
Yes. So I'm Pearl. I'm a hairdresser for a really long time, more than half my life, I think. I started doing hair when I was 14, 15 years old. And that's it. It just developed into this. And I'm Hair by Pearl now.
And now you have?
Now I have a beautiful salon in Brooklyn on Avenue U in East 3rd. My name is Pearl. I also have a salon in Jersey. I opened up in Long Branch. And I freelance. I go to houses. I do weddings. And what else? That's it.
Perfect.
Really.
Perfect. Can you remember, Pearl, either your first job or one of your first jobs?
It's funny, I was talking about it today. I remember my first bride that I ever did was my sister Esther's friend. I think I was 16. And she trusted me to do her hair. And she came to my mom's house, or maybe I went to her house. I don't remember. It was a really long time ago. And I just did it. And I remember putting the crown on and like, how do I do this? And I figured it out. And she came out stunning. And it lasted all night. And it was fun. It was exciting. And she let me do it. And she trusted me, which was great. Yeah, she was one of the first. I remember that. I was very young.
You were very young.
Very young.
For a bride to trust you, certainly. So yes. I give her a lot of credit.
I do.
I was telling you that I don't know when this was. Maybe you have more of a sense of when it was. But you used to do my hair, and I very vividly remember being in your basement.
Yes, that was big.
Yes, having like one or two kids like sort of crawling around the floor.
Around.
And then when I heard that you opened your second salon, I think I called you within minutes because I literally said, Pearl, I couldn't be happier for you. I don't understand how you got from the basement to what you're doing now. So
crazy.
Can you tell us a tiny bit about how you got from the basement to what you're doing now?
So it's like a little bit of a long story. So I always had in the back of my mind that I always wanted to open a salon. I didn't know when and how and where, but like it was always a thought. Like when I used to walk into like Warren Chacomi in the city or Orbe or John Barrett, I used to get like such a good vibe and a buzz. And I was like, I need to do this. Like I want to do this. And I feel like I could do this, but like I didn't know when. I had 4 kids really close together. I had 4 kids in 3 years, thank God. So at the time, I was juggling, working with the kids around in the house. I opened a little studio in my basement, and it was really like growing without me even realizing. Like I needed to add another chair and hire an assistant and hire a girl to wash, and then it really expanded without me trying really, thank God. I have to thank God, of course. So I had my 4 kids. They were like under 4 years old, 5 years old. My husband at the time was closing his business, and he didn't know what he was going to do. So I looked at him and I said, if you want, maybe I'll open a little earlier than I thought. And then he said, really? I said, yeah, we could do it together. And then, lo and behold, I was walking by this space on a Friday night after dinner really late, and it was empty, this building, this spot that I'm in right now. And I said, you know, if I ever did it, I would want to do it right here. Like, this is such a cool place. And then, you know, a year later, it happened, and thank God we opened up, and it was the best thing that ever happened. Thank God.
First of all, that's unbelievable that you literally saw the space. And
I knew it. Like, I had the feeling. Like, when I passed by, I was like, it just feels right. And I also felt the same way in Jersey. First, I was in Allenhurst, and then I outgrew the space, and then my sister, actually Esther again, she was walking by this space, and she goes, I think I found your new salon. I'm like, really? Empty. It's an empty, cinder block space. I I walked in and I'm like, I feel it. It just feels right. Like you feel the vibe of the space and the light and the whole thing. And it came out exactly how I wanted. Thank God.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And we have to thank Esther. And
Yes.
also sisters are the best.
The best. She knows like what I'm looking for also. But that's really it. And it is like a crazy transformation, but it happened so, I could say seamlessly, like opening and building, it all just worked out. And then the story gets good.
Yeah, and then the story gets good. So it wasn't always smooth and easy.
No.
Can you tell us a little bit, or whatever you want to share, about like this sort of challenging chapter in this story?
So I had no business background at all. Like, I'm talking zero. I knew how to blow hair and hold a brush and a blower and give a haircut. And I had no background in financing or managing my money or anything of the sort. I mean, my dad would tell me like here and there a little bit, but I didn't really have such a good grasp on business. At the time, I really trusted the whole business part in my husband at the time's hands, and I really didn't look, and I didn't manage any of it. All I did was show up to work and figure it out. I mean, I really was a one-man show at the time when I opened the door, and I said, it's just going to happen. I'm just going to start, and slowly a staff would walk in and roll in, and I really had nothing to do with payroll or any of that, which was a very big mistake, and this is a lesson that I learned the hard way. Always be involved in your business on that side, because it's your business too, and you both should be, or if it's a group of people, everybody should be involved in the financial part, in the everyday part, because without me knowing, I mean, until I did find out, there was a lot of things going on that I didn't know about, and I had to clean it up really quick after. And I woke up one day and my entire life changed, and I was like in shock and had to pick up the pieces all by myself, and that was not easy. And I had a choice to make, which was be a failure, go to sleep, not get out of bed, or wake up and try hard and really, really be the person I want to be, because that's who I am. And guess what? I did it.
You did. You really did.
It was not easy, but it's hard work and dedication and sacrifice. And every single day I said, this is who I am, and this is what I want it to be, and I'm going to do it. And I kill it every day.
You do. You really do.
I try my best. That's really it.
And you should be, I mean, I don't have to tell you, Pearl, but you should be so proud of yourself for making that choice, because I'm sure it wasn't easy at the time.
And it's every day. You battle with this every single day, bringing up kids and, being a mom and being a businesswoman and being a boss. It's all like a lot to handle, but you need to just put it in its own little sections and figure out like, okay, I need to give my kids time this day, and I need to give, work this time. And thank God I have the best kids in the whole world. I love them to death. But they understand. They know what I have to sort of juggle every single day, and they wait if they need to go shopping with me. Oh, I reserve a Sunday for them. Or like I have to really manage every little thing that everybody else could take advantage, like what's the word? Take for granted.
Yes.
Right. So going to the dentist, I need to schedule it 3 months in advance. Like all these little things I have to prepare from before. Be organized. I try my best.
It sounds like you do a good job.
I try. It's an organized mess sometimes. That's really it.
And that's okay too. How did you learn about the business? So now you wake up and you never did this before and pick up the pieces. Like, are there any general things that you did to learn the business side?
So for the business side, it was really trial and error for a really long time. Like in the beginning, it was a real mess, and I had to pick up everything and start again. I met with the bank, and I met with somebody in finance to help me out through that. My father is in business for years, and he helped me a lot with organizing myself. But yeah, it's every day, one day at a time, I feel like. I really figured out, okay, I have to organize. This is my rent. This is my products. This is my inventory. Everything has to be organized, and I need to know what's coming in to know what's going out. And not everything is just going out. You need to know you're also making money. You need to know what your hourly rate is worth. You need to know that if I'm leaving the salon, that I'm covering the time that I'm not there. So a lot of things have to be
Considered. Yeah. How
Considered.
do you figure out how much you like charge?
It's not easy, and every year everything goes up. Everything is more expensive, and percentages go up, and your rent goes up, and products go up. Especially now, everything's through the roof. So you have to sort of, know how to gauge how much money you have to charge in order how much money you have to make. So it's not that easy. It's very hard, actually. And I'm still learning every single day. Like if I have questions, I have good friends that, I have a great friend that's an accountant, and he helps me a lot. So it's reaching out to people that are in the field a little bit longer than me, and if I have a question, I ask. It's really about asking. It's really calling people up and asking questions and finding out. Google's great.
Yes.
It is.
You're
you
right.
can find out a lot.
I think we all Google probably more than we
Yeah, you
should.
can Google everything. It's just do it. It's great.
But those are all great suggestions for someone who never
It's not
looked at
easy.
the
No.
business or the financial side
And
of
I
their
hate that
business.
part. It's the worst part.
I know. I know you really just want to be blowing
Yeah,
hair.
I love doing hair, and like that whole part, it's now just really on automatic, but it's annoying. Nobody wants to do that.
I know.
I don't
It's
know.
true. It's true. And you're also now managing a team of people. You have employees, you have people who work for you in both salons.
Yes.
Like how is that?
Hard. Very hard. It's literally managing like kids. Like you're managing a team, but you have to be so sensitive to everybody's feelings and what they're going through, and if everything's okay in their family at the time. It's like really building a friendships and family, but at the same time they work for you. So there has to be the right balance. Like a lot of my employees are my friends. Like they really are. But it's a hard spot to put yourself in, to be a boss, and also to be, on the friend side also, and to manage a team and be strict, because I do run, it looks like an easy, chill vibe, but it is a strict and like, how do I explain?
tight ship.
A tight ship. It is a tight ship. Every single person that walks in, I know you're there. I know what you're doing. And I know what you look like when you leave, even though you might not see me, but I know what's going on. If I'm not there, I'm watching. And if I'm there, I see you. And my staff, without me speaking, they know what I'm saying. So if I do this, they know what I'm already saying.
amazing.
But it takes years to develop that whole like vibe and work. When we work together, that's really, I have to be very thankful for that, because that's not easy. And I lose people and I gain people, and thank God my staff is really great and I love them. But it changes all the time.
I'm sure.
And you have to be willing, like when people leave that I have for years, people are like, oh my God, could you believe they're doing this and they're going out and they're doing it in houses? I go, you know what? I really, truly believe it's all meant to be. And at the time that they were there, it was their moment to be with me in that time. And that's okay that they need to move on. I did the same thing. And I tell everybody, you want to grow and you want to do your own thing, that's great. Like I'm actually happy for people that want to grow and do something different. And I still talk to a lot of these people that used to work for me. I'm still their friend. We talk all the time. And I respect their work. They respect mine. And thank God I never really ended on a bad note with anybody that left. And that's it. It's fun to get to know new people also when they walk in the door. I don't know.
Sure. No, it's also because you're such a good person, Pearl.
I love you.
I know that you're really authentic and genuine in everything that you're saying, and I don't know that everyone in the world would feel the way that you do, but I think the fact that you can understand when it's time for people to move on or grow, and I also hear your faith in there, just in that things are meant to be when they're meant to be, and they happen that way.
It's a huge part. I mean, trusting in God it was the way I live life. Like, having emunah was everything. When I was going through my divorce at the time, the only thing that got me up in the morning was saying every single day, like, I know this is meant to be, and like, God has a plan. And like, I really wake up every single day and say, this is what it's supposed to be. Like, I have to just embrace it, make the best out of life, be happy, give positive vibes, have great energy every day, and give off that positive vibe to everybody else that's coming in. I come across so many girls every day that have issues and are going through breakups, or were just engaged and just broke up, or just had a bad divorce, or getting married and so excited, or getting engaged. Like, there's a lot of ups and downs working with people with hair all day long, believe it or not. It's a lot. But I feel like my experience in life is a lot for them to, what's the word, like,
Learn from.
yeah, learn from, and they could trust me, and I trust them, and I have like great connections with my clients. Like every single person is my friend that comes in. Like I love everybody, and I know that they feel like open and comfortable with me. So I think it's just like a good feeling that people get when they come in. I mean, I know I feel good when I'm doing their hair, so I hope they feel good when I'm doing it for them. I don't know.
I'm sure. I feel like we'll have to interview some of the clients and find out. But
It's fun.
I have a feeling that they would say the same thing. When I walked into the salon just to see you for a minute, the woman who was sitting in the chair, I don't know if you remember who she was. I didn't know her, but I started to say, like, I'd love for you to be in this podcast. And she turned around and said, you have to talk to her, and she has to tell you how great she is. But not only that, she has to tell you how she pivoted and how she has this beautiful life, and she built it herself. And it was so nice that someone's sitting in the chair with their wet head.
Like they all know. They all know.
That's incredible.
A lot of my clients like are with me for 20 years, 25 years, and they like saw me through the whole journey of starting off in houses, and literally I started on rollerblades, like with a backpack.
No.
I did.
Literally?
I put rollerblades on Friday, I swear, after school with a backpack and a blower and a brush, and I'd go around the neighborhood and charge $10. I promise. From 15 years old, I was buying every single thing myself. I told my parents, I said, I would walk and like buy my own shoes and buy my own bag. I would collect and go. I would like save. I don't know why my kids don't do this, but it's still
different times. It's different times.
Very different with Apple Pay.
But that work ethic is something that paid off.
Yes, thank God. I'm getting my kids through this life.
You are. What would you say, Pearl, like are the most important like qualities or skills you think someone should have to be successful in this business, in any business?
I really think, and I tell my staff all the time, number one is confidence. It's huge. Standing behind the chair, if you are not confident, the person in the chair knows. And they feel it from the second you are picking up that brush. So I say, if you're questioning your work for 1 minute, they already clocked it. And now they're questioning every move you're making behind that chair. So my number one thing is, like, I'm the most confident hairdresser behind the chair. And I tell everybody, it's not cocky. It's not being rude. So I know, like, what I'm capable of. I know that I could get you where you want to be. People don't even have to talk when they're sitting in the chair. I'm like, I know what you want. Just sit back for a minute. I'll listen, but I know what they need and what they want. But that's a huge thing. And also developing your skill and, like, really, really, really perfecting it, right? You're perfecting your skill gives you more confidence. So always learn. Always go to a class. Always watch a video. Sometimes I learn something on Instagram at night. I'll be like, oh my God, that's so cool. I didn't know I could do that. Keep watching, keep looking. Like, that's really what makes you better. And also, like, me personally, I have to be the best at everything that I'm doing. So it's a little bit of a good thing and a bad thing, but I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to this. I'm also my own competition. That's another thing. I don't look at what other people are doing. Yeah. I sort of say, like, oh, I'm good at this, but I could be better. Like, how could I be better? So that's, like, a big part also in being great at what you do, I think. I forgot the question now.
No, those are all great answers. What qualities do you need? And I think that those are all great answers. Yeah. And we've all been in a chair when someone behind it is unsure of what they're doing. And then the whole time, like, does this person know what to do?
You can't
do I have to
leave.
Give direction? What's this going to look like when it's over?
I mean, I think learning and really, if you really love what you do, you have to learn it to the best, like to the fullest. That's really what I think. I mean, doctors and all these people also, they're continuously learning. Yes. And every single day I learn something new, all the time.
I think that's great advice. I think to be a lifelong student is something that it's true in any field.
Any field. I mean, also being responsible, showing up on time, taking it serious and not like a joke. I never cancel people unless there's like a dire event that might have happened. Like, I have shown up to every job unless I had the flu in bed sick. Like, there's no time where I said, I can't make it because I have to go for lunch. That's not a thing. Like, I was reliable. Being reliable was huge. People were known to be flakes. Like, is she going to show up or not? That wasn't a thing. Like, I was coming and I'm giving you my time, and it's going to be worth your while when I walk in. Like, I wasn't just like flying in. I used to hear from people, she came in and she walked out in 20 minutes. Well, I'm like sitting there with you. I'm giving you my time, giving you my energy, making sure you're happy. I'm like spending the day with you. Even if it's just an hour in my chair, I make sure it's like the best hour of your life in that chair. And I think that's a very big part of like why I am who I am, is I think that everybody feels that I'm putting in all the work. So like I tell everybody around me, make sure when they leave that they're 100% happy. Don't just let them get up and walk out.
Yeah.
Like, double check your work. Make sure they're psyched about it.
Yeah.
Make sure they like where the bang is hitting or not. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just double check, triple check.
Is there something you love best in your job? Like, is there you love doing a wedding or you love being in the salon?
I love doing extensions.
Oh,
Love.
really?
It's like a major transformation for people, and it changes their life. Literally. It's crazy. I can't even tell you people crying to me every single day. Like, I am changing their whole entire life by giving them hair. And it's insane. I mean, I love doing brides. I love spending that time together. It's so special. It's so nice. But extensions to me, it like elevates the whole person. It's insane.
I love
Insane.
that.
You have to follow and see.
I'm going to. I'm gonna check it out.
It's crazy. Like, I could take somebody that has no hair, that's crying, that won't leave, won't go on a date, won't go, like, they won't do anything, and I give them hair. It's like I literally give them wings to fly. And they tell me, like, I mean, people watch it all day long. They're like, I cannot believe what you just did. So for years, I'm doing all sorts of methods, and like for the last 3 years, I found the method that is like insane, and it's not damaging to the hair. It doesn't do anything, doesn't destroy, and like people see it and they are obsessed, and I'm obsessed.
That's unbelievable.
It's great. It's so good. It's the best.
It's unbelievable.
Love.
What do you think, Pearl, is something that people would be surprised to know about you?
I mean, if you come to my salon, you know I love music, and like I'm a side DJ on the side. Like, while I'm working, people ask me, what is this playlist? I'm like, I'm making it right now. Like, I literally DJ.
Look out, Fax Brothers.
I'm like really DJing while I'm working. It's the funniest thing, but I love it, and I can't work without music. It's
Wow.
impossible. I can't. I need to be in a zone. If you notice my videos, like, I'm always dancing in the background. I love it. I feel like it gives the whole salon such a feeling, and it puts people in a good mood. Some of the oldies don't love it.
I was going to say, is it like the same type of music, or
I
it
go
like
crazy
depends
sometimes.
on your mood?
Sometimes I go crazy, but then sometimes I'll whip out Celine Dion. But no, it's just, I love it. I love it all. I like it all. It's fun.
Okay, so Pearl, there are so many hairdressers in
Yes.
our community. How do you differentiate yourself? Why is someone calling you to come to a wedding or to blow their hair?
I think my experience, my professionalism, me as a person, my skill, my talent. I think those are a lot of things that come along with when you want to hire a hairdresser to come to do the wedding or whatever else you're using them for. But I think my reputation is a good reputation. I think that everybody gets a great experience every time I walk in. I mean, I try to give them a good experience, but I think it's also word of mouth and people saying it was the best day, like you have to have her with you that day, the makeup artist matters. Like, the whole thing is a feeling you want to get that day. You want to be surrounded by people that you want to be with the day you're getting married or engaged or any special event. For all the hairdressers that are questioning themselves, starting off and thinking, can I do this? Am I good enough? Am I, it's so much work. It's so hard. People are so annoying. They're so picky. It's a lot goes along with it. And you could definitely get pushed down and not feel your best, like when you're working. But I could tell you one thing. If you could find one thing that you know you're great at, zone in on it. And zone in and make it your expertise. When you have an expertise in something, people want to use you for that. So let's just say you're great at doing hair up, and not a lot of people could do hair up great. So focus on that. Post pictures on that. Show people this is what I could do. A picture nowadays is worth $1 trillion. When I started, there was no Instagram. There was no pictures getting sent on phones. It was literally writing my number down on a napkin and word of mouth. At a wedding, who blew your hair? Oh, Pearl, this little girl, like you could write it, like literally would write it down. If they lost that paper, they would never call me. Yeah. So here you have a platform and a showcase, and it's free. It's a joke. Post everything. You know how to do a wave good? Post your waves every single day. Show people. And guess what? If you don't post and you don't show and you don't show up, nobody knows about you. You're like what's the word? You're forgotten. Yeah. So use the platform when it's there for you. You have to use it because it's available and it's the best thing ever. It could totally take your business from 0 to 100 real quick. I mean that.
I know.
It's crazy because sometimes, and also like I said, zone into what you're good at. That's like if you're good at hair cutting, just cut hair for a while until you're ready to expand a little bit. But like make everything that you're doing like the best that you could do it. So learn and take a class and go online. There's classes every single day. Like there's things that you could do and it'll blow up in a minute if you're pushing for it. If you want it to work, it will work. You just have to believe in yourself. That's a big thing. Confidence and believing in yourself is major in this industry. Major.
Oh, you're right. When you were starting out, Pearl, those years ago, and you were writing on a napkin, people are probably saying, like, what does that even mean?
It's crazy.
But when you were writing on a napkin, was there competition like this or not competition? Were there other,
you know what, even till today, I don't even know who my competition is. Like, I'm not looking at what everybody else is doing. And that's a big thing. Like, I'm focusing on what I am doing and how much better I can do it. I'm not looking at what the salon down the block is doing or what they're doing in this salon in the city. I'm doing it to like the best that I can do it and developing my own skills to the place where I can get it the best. So I'm not focusing on everybody else.
Good.
I'm focusing on me and making my team strong, making my salon the best. And that's really, I don't waste energy on other people and other people's businesses or pages or Instagram stories or, oh, did you see what she did? I never look. I don't look.
I think that's a very mentally healthy way to live life also, that just being able to, for all of us, to continue growing in what we do and continue being better in who we are and what we do
it clouds
without
you.
looking at everyone else.
It really clouds you. If you're focusing on what everybody else is doing around you, you're wasting all that space and that time on what they're doing more than what you could be doing and how much better you could do what you're doing better. So like, I don't waste time like that. I enjoy looking at people's,
for fun.
work and I say, wow, it's beautiful, but I don't sit and dwell on it. Oh my God, she did it so much better than me. I could try so much harder. Like, no, everybody's different. You have to learn that you have your own skill and I can't have the same skill as you. Everybody's different. And in the hair industry, like all works. So you just have to like zone in to what you're good at and blow it up. That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. You have so much great advice, Pearl. Really, so much great advice. In fact, I'm thinking back to you being now like 16 or 18. What advice would you give to your 16 or 18-year-old self?
Maybe not to work as hard. Maybe I work a little too hard, but I think really just, I don't know, what would I say to myself? Like, focus. I mean, I did what I wanted to do, which was focus on what I wanted to do. And just never say you can't, because you can do everything if you focus on it. That's really it.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I really honestly cannot thank you enough. I know how busy you are. I know that every time that I called you and said, Pearl, do you think you can do this? You said, yes, I'm going to make this happen. And at the same time, I know that you really don't have time to yourself. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and for sharing your story and for inspiring. I'm going to speak on behalf of all of us because I think you really inspire all of us. You grew, you had challenges, you kept growing, you really never gave up. And you were the most wonderful and the least bitter person. And I just really have to tell you that I think this is going to go a long way. I think everyone will love to hear about you just because they love you.
So.
But I also think there are girls who are going to listen and think like, wow, Pearl can do it. And she said, I can do it.
Yeah,
and
I love to, I want girls to feel like they can do it. Like, I know a lot of girls struggle and say, it's so hard. I have kids. I have, how am I going to do it? How am I going to manage? It's all a balancing act, really, basically. You have to, look at your schedule, even if you have 3 hours free a day. And that's all you could do. So just work 3 hours a day for the beginning. But, and slowly, you can figure out a better system. You can get help. You can figure out a way to make it work. And I think that's so important. And nobody should be let down when you want to do something. I think if you feel like you want to do something for yourself, especially, do it. We live one life.
I'm with you.
I feel like you have to do it. Make it work.
I'm with you. Thank you. Thank you so much
Anytime.
for being here. Thank all the listeners.
And thank you for having me.
For listening and for being here to celebrate another amazing woman from our community. Thank you, Pearl.
We'll need good hair, so. I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for joining us at Chapters by Propel. If you're ready for the next chapter in your career journey, give us a call. We're happy to help you with career coaching, navigating graduate school, or leveling up your business with some business strategy and consulting. You can email us at info@thepropelnetwork.org. Special thanks to Melanie Kuehl, our amazing host, to Hit Central Studios, and the amazing team at Propel. Good night.